Well, hello everyone, and good afternoon rather. It's exactly 1 p.m. Central, and it is Thursday. And as usually on Thursday, um, we're performing one of our webinars, or rather delivering one of our webinars that we typically do on every Thursday for our expanding audience, including our customers as well as the future customers. So today's topic is very specific and unique from one perspective, but I will just let everybody to join. I'll see that people are still joining in, so I hope that everybody's getting settled in and are able to hear and see what's on the screen. So my name is Nikolai Korniuk, and I'm VP of Business Development and Marketing here at RigER. It is my pleasure to host today's webinar with a couple of speakers. We are present in social media, so this is one of the best ways to keep in touch with us. Please do visit our page on LinkedIn. So we've just got another boost of our followers, which is a great thing, with whom we are happy to share any news about the product, the industry, and how we can help the industry to go through this time in a good and bad times with our system and our knowledge, which we're going to be sharing with you guys today. So going back to today's topic, so it's going to be dedicated to the oilfield supply chain management, and we know that oilfield is a rather large industry, and a broad topic when we talk about supply management can be extremely exhaustive. However, we identified a few topics specifically that we wanted to single out and devote some time to throughout our conversation, and we're going to be building on it throughout other series of webinars. But some of the things that we're going to be talking today that relate to the supply chain management in the oilfield service and rental companies include vendor management, making purchases or managing the purchasing process from the order to bill of lading to the purchase invoice. What is subrentals? And again, this is all part only of the supply chain management, but we want to make sure that we are able to dedicate time to specific topics that are relevant to you guys. And of course, at the end of the session, we'll have a chance to answer any questions that you may have. So today's presenters are going to be myself and Michael Maltsev, our CEO and head of the product, and we're happy to start.
Yeah, hello, and thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll talk about supply chain management. And right now is a good time to present the entire concept of RigER. It's an oilfield ERP, and we're talking about oilfield service resource planning software. So talking about ERP concept and talking about the history of this term, starting from material requirements planning, manufacturing resource planning, enterprise resource planning, customer relationship management, which is CRM, which will be presented soon, supply chain management, customer synchronized resource planning, and enterprise resource planning and relationship processing. Those are different concepts of automation of the entire organization management. And today we will talk about supply chain management or vendor relationship with the oilfield service companies and oilfield rental companies. We defined several pieces of supply oilfield services supply chain management. It's a vendor management, purchase processes, chargeback, expense claims, subrentals, and rework. And we will talk a bit about everything today. And we will have some demos today. So please stay with us and let's move forward. So first of all, definitely we need to build a list of all our vendors and keep those this list of vendors and those records in order and up to date. To do that, we have a vendor card in RigER with general settings where we can see the contact information, addresses, all the registrations. In some cases, could be several divisions or group of the companies. And we have specific settings where we can set up the terms of payment, a credit limit, a vendor account number, and contacts from the vendor perspective. And talking about sales agents and account managers, we can identify a particular purchase manager who is responsible for this vendor. The purchasing process consists from several steps, and we can use different platform to run purchases in RigER. We can start from mobile purchases and generate mobile purchase request, have a digital approval system. Different clients use different approval systems. Then we can generate purchase orders, and we have three-way control: purchase order, bill of lading, and purchase invoice, where we can control line by line, number by number, quantity by quantity, each purchase order. And definitely we have purchase reports and accounting integrations, and popular platforms for accounting integrations could be QuickBooks, Sage, Microsoft Dynamics, and other systems. For some clients, we do export to Excel spreadsheets and kind of a universal export, and they run everything to other systems. So here we have the purchase process, and I'd like to ask Indra to help us and run the full demo of purchase orders, bill of lading, purchase invoice, and rental units and unit numbers.
Let me show you how rental units purchase procedure works in RigER system and what is document workflow. It is very important to generate documents by the sequence in RigER. And purchase procedure consists of these documents. So it starts from purchase order, then purchase invoice, and finally you're generating a bill of lading. So let's say we would like to proceed a purchase for some rental equipment and add them to the inventory in RigER system. So we start purchase procedure by generating a purchase order. So we are going to purchase module in RigER system and selecting purchase order. Here we click generate, and we are creating a new purchase order document. So in purchase order document, we select the correct document date when we are proceeding the purchase. We selecting the vendor from where we are purchasing the equipment. And this time I'll select our virtual vendor. Then you can enter the address, billing address, selecting the department for which we are purchasing the rental equipment. If it's required, you can select the tax schedule, which will be applied for this purchase. Also, we can select a contact from the vendor with whom we will be dealing for this purchase procedure, and add all other required information for this purchase, like job number, customer PO number, and so on. And then we select, let's say we expecting to get this rental equipment on the 3rd of December. And then we just need to select what we are purchasing. So let's click add. And let's select, for example, generator 100 kilowatt. And let's say that we are purchasing quantity 2 of them. And the price, we are adding the price. Then let's say we are selecting, we are purchasing a second rental equipment, like generator 45 kilowatts. And we will be purchasing 1 of them. And let's add price for it. So when all the documents, when all information in purchase order is entered and all items, all equipment, rental equipment is added, we can post this document. So click post. So the next document by the workflow should be purchase invoice. So let's click generate and select purchase invoice. Purchase invoice will be generated, and the full list of equipment from purchase order will be added. But let's say we are getting not the full order, just at the moment we will be getting generators 100 kilowatts. So let's select the correct date, let's say the 3rd day of December. Now we need to add a purchase invoice number, so it's manually entered field, so you can add the purchase invoice number, same from the invoice what you are getting from the vendor. And then just let's click post, and purchase invoice is generated and posted. The next document is bill of lading, so let's click generate and select bill of lading. A new bill of lading document is generated, and here we need to select the unit numbers for this generator which we are purchasing, because it's a serialized rental unit. Okay, so let's click here, and if we have already entered this unit numbers in the system, we can select from the list. If not, you can just click add and just enter a new unit number to add all the details about the unit, like model. It relates with the rental unit. It is related with the rental unit generator 100 kilowatts. So the serialized number, if you need, you can add a comment and all other information. Okay, at the moment for this purchase, I already have unit numbers added in the system. So I just select them, okay. And don't forget to change the date to the correct one of the document when these unit numbers comes into the inventory and becomes available for the jobs. So then everything is correct here. We can click post, and 2 generators 100 kilowatts are purchased and becomes available in the system. So we can go back, for example, to purchase order, and there is a button update actually received and built, so we can click here, and now we can see that we already received and built 2 generators 100 kilowatts, and we are still waiting for 1 generator 45 kilowatts. And to check the balance of purchase, so we have a report for that. So if you go to purchase module, you can select PO control report, and in this report you can select the PO number, the department for which you want to check, or the vendor, and just click generate. So you can see all the details about the current situation with this purchase in this report too. So let's go back to purchase order, and let's say 2 days passed and we get the last item, the last equipment what we purchased in this purchase order, the generator 45 kilowatts. So let's generate again the purchase invoice for that equipment, and system sees that generators 100 kilowatts was already invoiced and received. So in the next purchase invoice, system automatically adds only what's left on the purchase order, what's not invoiced and not received yet. So let's check all the details here. If everything okay, let's put the purchase invoice number. Okay. And let's just click post. So the next step, we can go back actually and check in purchase order the balance. So we can see the generator 45 kilowatts is built, and we need just receive them in the system. So to receive them, it in the system, we need to generate bill of lading. Let's go to purchase invoice, or we can do it from purchase order. So and generate bill of lading. So yes, here we need to select the unit number for this generator which we are receiving. Let's click here, and I have already added the unit number in the system. If you don't have, you can click add and just create a new unit number in the system and select it. So let's select it, click OK. And if everything is okay, we can just post this bill of lading document, and let's go back to purchase order. And now if we check the balance, we can see that everything is received and everything is billed for this purchase order. So this is how the purchase procedure works in RigER system.
Thank you, Indra. So there are lots of different enhancement of the purchase order and bill of lading and purchase invoice connection. It could be automatic close of the purchase order when we received and billed in full all the lines in the purchase order. But again, it really depends on the client's ability to and number of transactions for each particular situation. So another thing where we see lots of documents, it's an expense claim. So the employee expenses and purchase orders. When we have a field technician going to the field and purchase something and then they can build an expense claim and send this to the digital approval for the managers. It could be meals, travel, whole other expenses. So and definitely the approved expense claims then goes to the accounting integrations and included to the purchase reports and dashboards. It's a very simple document, registered to the expenses, and even further you can allocate those expenses to the particular job to understand direct cost of the job. Another part of the puzzle is the subrental transactions. Subrentals we call subrental operations when we re-rent equipment from our vendors to our clients. So in this case, we build rental service agreement as usual for our clients, but at the point of the delivery, we need to subrent equipment from our vendor. So in this case, we build subrental agreement and we have subrental ticket in and subrental ticket out. So those two documents which will manage all the movement of the subrental equipment to our fleet and out from our fleet. So those transactions will define a number of subrental days and rental days which we will invoice to our client will be as usual. In this case, we have two part of the equation. So from one part, we have a revenue, a rental revenue, and a subrental revenue. And special settings for the subrentals could be a standby fee. Not all the vendors ask to have a full. Again, depends on the agreement with vendor, and some of the vendors can have different rates for deployed equipment and standby equipment. It could be a subrental fee from the rental fee. Say, for example, some of the vendors, they can tell you, okay, I would like to take 30% of your rental fee. Again, in some cases it could be very time-consuming to calculate all those differences, and we have lots of reports showing how you can see that. And subrental analysis, this is a number of reports, up to 5-6 reports, showing different parameters of the subrentals. And definitely we need to define short-term subrentals and long-term subrentals. Short-term subrentals, when you have initiating the subrental when you send your equipment to your client. So this rental ticket delivery will initiate subrental agreement and subrental ticket in on the background of the system, and you only need to enter details 2 to 3 on pop-up window, and which vendor you use, what price you'd like to put, and what kind of unit number you'd like to use from this vendor. Long-term and short-term close, when we do subrental return, you have a magic button, return this equipment to a vendor, and it's automatically close the subrental agreement and generate a subrental ticket out. Long-term subrentals differ from the short-term because you have a part of your fleet, like you treat it as your fleet, but it belongs to your vendor. So it's a little bit different approach. Again, if you have some questions about subrentals, give us a call. We will show you a step-by-step process in details. Another feature is a chargeback when we transfer the services we received from vendors to our clients. So the chargeback works as a normal purchase order when we do a bill of lading and purchase invoice. And in the purchase invoice, we able to generate rental tickets and invoice those tickets to our clients. And there are several options for chargeback. It could be a direct conversion when we have one by one. So we have incoming service from the vendor and we transfer this service to our client, and we have a traceability and understand which service come to from the vendor and where it goes to. Another option, it could be allocation. So we receive a service from one vendor and allocate between several clients. I can provide an example. One of our clients, they do mobile trailers rentals, and they have a cleaning services done weekly. And these weekly services is just a one invoice from the vendor, could be allocated between several locations for the client or several clients. So in this case, they receive a chargeback invoice from vendor and generate 2 to 3, 5, 7 rental tickets and then invoice client. And another option is a markup. So you can add some fixed a lump sum, or it could be a percentage, say, for example, plus 15%, 10% to what you receive from your vendor. Let us see the purchase invoice chargeback example. And I'd like to ask Indra again to show us how it works.
Let me show you how chargeback operation works in RigER system. Let's say you need to charge the client for the fuel he used during the job, and you need to track the purchase of it in the system too. We have a running job in RigER, so we haven't read it and received for the client, and we need to charge back the client for the fuel. We start chargeback procedure by generating a purchase order in the system. So to generate a purchase order in RigER, we are going to purchase module and selecting a purchase order. Let's click create, and a new purchase order document is generated. Now we need to select all the details for the purchase order. So let's select the vendor. In this case, I will be selecting a virtual vendor. Let's select the department. And if you need to, you can add another information for this purchase order, like contact person from the vendor, phone, email address, and so on. And let's add a delivery date. Let's say it will be today. And now click add and select an item, a fuel, which you will be purchasing. And let's add the quantity, 50, and the price. Okay, so when all the information is added here, we can post the document. The next step in purchase procedure is to generate a purchase invoice. Let's click generate button and select purchase invoice. A new purchase invoice document is generated in the system. So now let's enter a purchase invoice number. And the fuel, the item from purchase order, is added automatically. The base quantity and the price is added too. So when everything is correct, we can post this document. And the last step in purchase procedure is to generate a bill of lading. So let's click generate and select bill of lading. And here we check all the details in bill of lading. If everything is correct, we click post it. So now if we want to charge the client for this fuel, we're going back to purchase invoice, and here is a chargeback tab. So we click it, and let's add a client and the job and the RSA for this client, which we will be charging for this fuel. Okay, let's select client, let's select RSA. We can add the date, as today, and the amount of this purchase invoice, 75. Okay, so now when everything is added here, if you need, you can enter a note too. Let's post again purchase invoice. And the next step would be to generate a rental ticket service for this purchase invoice. Let's click generate button, and you can see that a new rental ticket service is generated for this client for this RSA. We can click a link of this rental ticket, and rental ticket will be opened, so we can check details here. And if everything is correct, we click post. So now, don't forget to enter the field technician. It's a mandatory field in rental ticket. So now we can post it. And now we can generate an invoice for this service, what we provided for the fuel, which we delivered for the client, and send the invoice to the client. So we can generate a service invoice from rental ticket, or we can go to RSA directly. Both ways are working to generate an invoice, and just click generate, select the service invoice. You can select an invoice date and click generate. So now we have a generated invoice with fuel added in it, and with the base quantity of 50 and the price 150. So we can post this invoice and send it to the client. So this is how the chargeback procedure works in RigER system. So you can charge the client for the used fuel, and at the same time you can track the purchase of it in the RigER system.
Thank you, Indra. I should say that those transactions are very popular with rental companies where we provide equipment and have a service. The next step, next topic which we'd like to cover today is a rework transactions. It's a very special operations where we have a third-party repairs, and usually rework run as the in the situation when we couldn't repair equipment at our location, and we go to machine shop or any other specific locations where we can do the particular operations. Another option could be a certification by a third party of the equipment which we need to recertify after every single job or in a certain period of time. So, and that is why the repairs usually starts from, rework usually starts from the repair. So we start from repair dashboard, move equipment to the rework dashboard, then build the purchase order. And in this case, we have two rework bill of lading out when we send equipment to our vendor, and bill of lading in when we receive it back. And for rework service, we receive purchase invoice. Now, this is a very interesting approach when we have to track multiple items moving back and forth, and control the rework time, control the rework quality, quantity, and definitely need to have a traceability about purchase rework cost. So rework reports, providing of a full information and very useful tool is the repair dashboard and rework dashboard. So everything starts from repair dashboard, where we can select all the units which we need to repair. And if we couldn't repair in this time in our facility, then we can check the repair that we couldn't repair this item here, and then everything goes to the repair dashboard. So in the repair dashboard, we can generate and create new rework POR. We can generate a new rework bill of lading out. And when we receive this back, then we do the rework bill of lading in. So every single step in these transactions could be very time consuming if we will do this manually. And definitely if the client has lots of different rental units moving back and forth, so we just need to be very cautious about all those transactions. So rework helps manage operations, because sometimes what we see, clients decided to delay rework. So they put some of the equipment aside and wait till they will have good time, budget, whatever, and then they can generate a new rework POs and equipment to rework and waiting for these operations. And if you have any questions regarding this topic or any other topics, feel free to call or book a demo, and we will show you all the details about our digital oilfield platform, oilfield ERP system, which help you to run your business smoothly and optimize your operations.
So thank you very much, and thank you, Michael, for the presentation today. And we'll look forward to connecting with you next week and the following weeks. And we're always online at RigER.us. Check us out and find additional information or ask us any questions in any other forum. We're always available.
Yes, thank you so much. And if you have any topics which you think we need to describe, so feel free to send us an email to godigital@rigER.us, and we definitely will show you like everything. So we're running a very transparent business, and we'd like to share all our knowledge to all our clients and make oilfield great again. Thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thank you, guys.